what? It's Wednesday, and who knows what day of the month. I'm completely screwed up now. It's been a while since I've been at work. And here we go. We're back at work. We really don't know what wheels are turning, but we do know that TriMet's attempt to scapegoat me for their stupidity has ended in utter failure and embarrassment for themselves. And we don't know if the story's over or not yet. I mean, you know, we get these powerful people who are sitting in offices saying, what should we do about Al? What are we going to do about Al? What are we going to do about Al? He's a goddamn pain in the neck. Yeah, he is. But what are we going to do about him? We can't seem to get rid of him. I'm sorry, but I had nothing to... You made this story a story. You TriMet managers, not me. You know, you're the ones that created a scene. First by trying to cover it up, and then by scapegoating me for your fuck up. You know, get out of here. 3 weeks to cover it. We're doing an investigation. That's always their answer. If you notice, they have a standard answer for everything. We're doing an investigation. I'm sure they knew the day of the crash what happened. I guarantee you that they knew the day that it happened why that happened. Because we all know. I mean, we knew. We'd heard about it, just like Lars Larson said. I'm not a Lars Larson fan, by the way, but it's really the free rights people that are the best support, you know, because this is government tyranny, and I mean, they understand it. They understand the issue of government tyranny. I mean, some of the views of the right-wing people are kind of whacked out, but in other views, they hit the nail right on the head. And out of control government, wasteful tyranny, they are right about all of that. I mean, you know, people say, yo, you're supporting the right wing. Well, on some things, they are right. You know, it's just like a blanket. You can't believe what they say because it's Lars Larson. No, we don't. It's not the messenger, it's the message. If you condemn the messenger rather than the message, you're a very deluded individual. You have to listen to the message. Now, in the case of this particular incident, Lars did a very excellent interview. It was an excellent interview. He didn't get in my way. I get to say what I want. And he got Mary, and she said what he wants. But his view about the light rail, I'm 100% with it. I'm 100% with those anti-light rail people, including Max Redline, the anti-planner, even John Charles. That's right, John Charles, the anathema to the union movement. But I also understand there's major problems with the unions too. I understand it. You know, I'm not going to say my union right or wrong, because I'm not going to do that either. I'm not going to say, oh, they're always right, no matter what. No, there's a huge reason why unions do a lot of good and they do a lot of bad. Look at him, he's turning around. What's he doing? Come on, I'm just going to let you in there, buddy. And here we go on our favorite road in the middle of the night. Let's see if we run into bicyclists now that the time has changed. So I was ready to be fired. I had psychologically said, I'm fired, okay. And then you know, it would have been great to not have to come. And I got to tell you, there's this part of me that just wants to get out of here so bad. But it's not a bad enough job to just say I quit and return. You know, maybe in March I will do that. But there's a lot of good things about this job still, even though the management is intent upon stopping my blogging. They don't understand that the more that they try to stop me, the more it makes me go. It doesn't work the way you want it to work. It's not going to work. You can't intimidate me out of it. I don't recognize your authority over me, okay? You can fire me, yes. But I do not recognize your authority over me. And you think that you can reach into my living room and tell me how to think and what to look at and what to do. Yeah, you write the check, and we know how it works in economies. The power comes from the checkbook. That's how that's how people wield power over each other, with a checkbook. A brilliant strategy by the bankers to control people. Use these paper instruments, you know, have everybody believing that it's real, and you can't survive in the world without it. So this huge control happens because of that paper. And you know, everybody's like, you know, you can't get another job. And I'm like, well, then I guess I'll die. Like a billion other people in the world, they live on $1 a day. You know, I'm not afraid. Nobody wants to live in poverty, but you have to have some morals too. You have to have some scruples. You can't just be worried about you. And that's it. You know, when I put the movie up, I had no idea what it was. I really didn't. And I had no idea that it hadn't been released. I thought it had. I had no reason to believe otherwise. You know, why wouldn't it have been released? Of course I thought it was released. It was circulating on the internet. I mean, and when I say circulating on the internet, I mean it's going through email lists. You know? And if it's going through email lists, that means it's out here. So it's out. You know, I get tons and tons of stuff on these email lists. Lots and lots of stuff. And it's, as far as I'm concerned, if it's coming through on emails, that means it's circulating on the internet. And I know that lots of people besides me had got that video, TriMet people, because it came from a TriMet mail group. I don't remember which particular person sent it. It wasn't important, you know. When I got it, I was like, oh, this is cool. A great crash video. And you know, those are my favorite videos. This went right up, didn't think twice about it. And then I get this call from Joe Rose. He says, where'd you get that video? What are you talking about? I asked for that video last week and they said it didn't exist. I'm like, really? I didn't know nothing about that. That's bizarre. Don't you think that's bizarre? I find that strange that they would try to cover up an accident. How could you cover it up? It's not possible, really. I mean, really, why didn't they just release the damn thing if he asked for it? I mean, as I said to Lars Larson, shit happens. No matter how much you train us, how many recertification courses you give us, there will always be the occasional human error, because we're just humans. It happens in everything, you know. Anyway, Neil's explanation to the board was the same as the explanation to the media, of course. You know, we're conducting an investigation. You know, that's always their excuse. We're conducting an investigation, so we don't have to give it to you. You know, don't forget, the people that run TriMet think they own TriMet. That's the issue. They are the owners of the company. They're not public servants. See, this is where I fully align with people like Lars Larson. It's like the government officials are supposed to be public servants, and I believe in transparency. I believe that the government has no right to be withholding information from the citizens when they're dealing with a tax-funded institution like TriMet's a tax-funded transit system. That means the taxpayers have a right to all the information. But I guess the management doesn't agree with me. Anyway, I'm back to work and we'll see what comes down the pike, but there was a lot of pressure. I was surprised how much the media fell in for me there. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting to be fired, gone, you know. I thought that it was finished for me. You know, I would have gone to attorneys, of course. I would have waited a little bit, seen what the union has to say and all of that, but wouldn't have just taken it lying down. But it would have been great. Just think of the possibility of not having to come in here right now and do this job. This job is so fucking oppressive, man. It really is. Oh, and then, you know, I was with Greg, and I like Greg Larson a lot. He's a very nice man. But, you know, I know he's not making any decisions. I know that when I talk to Greg, he's not going to make any. He's going to, in fact, give them the facts, and they'll decide what to do. Greg won't make the decision. He's the water boy. You know, he's getting some water for the boys. And then I talked about that call stop thing, and you know, it turns out that I overreacted to that too. But I am paranoid. I'm going to tell you right out front. Now I have every reason to be paranoid. Look at what happens to me in this organization. Okay, look at what happens. It's not like I have an easy life here. And I want to point out that it's just my off-the-job duties that get me in trouble around here. And they don't like the fact that I work here. And, you know, if I didn't work here, it would be carte blanche. It's off to the races, you know. I could do whatever the hell I want, man. I'd be everywhere, man. I'd be everywhere. And I'd be filing public records. I have a lot of questions about the contracts that have been issued in this organization. And, you know, if I wasn't working here, I could actually do some investigating on that. I want to know where some of that money has gone. Nobody's ever looked into the contracts and seen how all that huge amount of money has been spent, where it actually went. People don't have any idea. It's about time that somebody start looking into that. And if I had some time on my hands, which I would, you know, because I'm not broke. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm not broke. I could survive for quite a while without any income. I certainly could survive till the retirement income came in. It's only 4 months. I would want to know. I want to start finding out about some of these contracts, because I think that's where we really have to start looking and seeing what's happening in this organization here. Anyway, is it good to be back? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I just don't know. I hear my passengers have been rooting for me. I'm sure I've achieved a certain degree of fame now. You know, I fought the law and I won. At least for now. At least for the moment. See, the thing about these TriMet management is you never know what comes at you later. You see, it could be a month before I actually see any disciplinary letter from them. Because everything is so slow here. Their bureaucratic wheels are like molasses, you know. You get complaints from 6 months ago and stuff, you know. Everything is so gummed up and screwed up here that there's no speedy anything. Ooh, look at the traffic. Man, the traffic is bad. Okay, that's it for this particular moment, and we're signing.